I'm here today to talk to you about a new product that we have. It's called the Millar's Mill B2 version. We had the B1 out. That was our first model, and it was definitely a really good mill and very durable. Our new model has a few things that we've improved upon on the first model, part of which is the bearing system. The bearing system that we're using now, as opposed to a bronze bearing, which is what most people use in the industry for these mills, we're using an actual real ball bearings. And what that does, it just makes it actually more durable. We feel a little more confident about putting a motor on this or motorizing our mill. And it's basically at the end of the shaft on each end of the mill. It's encased in aluminum, so the bearing is pressed into an aluminum side, so there and there. And what that does is it dissipates heat very well. We also went to a long handle, a little easier to crank, definitely gives you a little bit more leverage as opposed to a short handle. So for those people that are going to use this mill and just do hand crank, this definitely is an improvement. And that no longer is an optional thing. We actually are giving the handle with it for free. We also are still giving away the aluminum scoop. It's a 58 ounce commercial scoop. So it's very durable, very nice to have. That also comes free with the unit. And you can see here, this is what it comes with. When you buy the unit, you end up with the mill, and this part of it's assembled, so it's fairly easy to put together. You don't have to do much. And we also, the aluminum hopper is in 4 pieces. You got 2 sides and 2 backs. And what you have to do to assemble those is pretty easy. You just use the screws and the nuts provided. We also provide you with 2 longer bolts. And what these 2 longer bolts do is they give you the ability to mount it to either a table or, as you can see here, I'm using just 2 strips of inexpensive plywood. And this is my mount system. So we don't provide little pieces of plywood or wood sticks. You definitely would want to do something, fashion something on your own. But just 2 simple holes and drill it through or mount it. Or you might want to mount it to a table or fixed. So we felt like that was a better option, give people more flexibility in what they want to do with it. We also, a big improvement we've done is on the ends of the mill, as opposed to just kind of guessing or making marks on our own, what we've done is we've done a thumb screw adjustment in the front, and what that does, it loosens up the eccentric cam on the roller. And so it gives me an ability to adjust the rollers in and out. And the farther away the 2 rollers are from each other, the larger the crack. The closer that the rollers are together, the finer or closer or finer the crack. So you can now adjust it. Once you adjust it, you have a reference point. There's actual decimal point marks, and you can use this as a reference for your next batch of beer. If you find that you found a crack that was either too fine or too coarse, this definitely has an improvement. So we have one on one side and one on the other. Both of them have their own graduation marks on it. And once you find your perfect crack, then you can adjust it, and then adjust your thumb screws, tighten it down. It doesn't require any tools, which I like. Some of my competitors definitely have screws. Just a little more convenient to do this way. The other thing that we've done with the unit is we put a protective coating on the aluminum so it doesn't get scratched. So in transit, you could actually leave the plastic on if you wanted to, but it's a blue plastic. Peel it off when you assemble the unit. And I'm going to show you real quick how to mill with it. And I've got a bucket here, and this is my bucket, and this is kind of a standard. This is actually a 6-gallon, but you can use a 6-gallon or a 5-gallon. So I got 2 different versions. If I want to connect my handle on it, just attach that. Now I've got my handle for cranking, or I adjust my drill to fit it. And I'm using a slow RPM drill. I've got 2 adjustments on my drill. It's like a number 1, number 2. So I tend to think that this mill is going to work best at about 250 to maximum of 500 RPM. The lower the RPM, I find that you get a more consistent crack. Of course, there's practicality to having it go a little bit faster. But I think in the long term, the mill will last longer, the bearings will last longer if you keep it at a lower RPM so things don't overheat. So just pretty much it's pretty much attach a drill, pretty easy. I'll show you kind of what it does. Get a little bit of grain here. Pretty simple. And one of the things that you're trying to go for when you go for a perfect crack is you're going for a 3-part crack with the hole intact. And a lot of people have struggled with that with mills. So when you look at your actual product, your grain, your final product, what you're looking for is the hole or the outside of the grain to be intact to still work as a filter bed. But your actual grain should be cracked into 3 pieces. Ideally, that's perfect. There is definitely an improvement if you're looking to improve your beer, the quality of your beer. Fresh ground coffee obviously is better than pre-ground. Fresh ground spices are better than pre-ground. And the same thing applies to beer brewing. The fresher the crack, the better the beer. So we believe that it's an important, essential aspect of brewing the best beer. Thanks for checking us out, and we'll be sure to have new specials and things going on our website. And we definitely believe that if you buy a Millar's mill, you'll have a mill that will last a long time. And for the money, we definitely try to keep the value. So thank you very much.